When you can't choose between the products in the market, it's the people that will make the difference. It can only be fitting at such an illustrious occasion as this. Guardian Health, a company not averse to accepting the odd award for excellence in a field, as we have heard already this evening, takes the opportunity to honour a selection of outstanding individuals who over the years have either made an exemplary contribution and are examples to all of us, or, failing that, have made an example of themselves and given us all a good laugh. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincerest honour to introduce to you the first, and probably the last, annual Guardian Health Academy Awards. Like the only other internationally renowned annual awards ceremony which can hope to compete with our own in terms of prestige, I am of course referring to the Oscars. The competition to be nominated in any of one of this evening's award categories has been fierce. The chance to be bestowed with one of these magnificent trophies, an Ollie, which I am sure you would all agree would look fantastic on the mantelpiece of anyone's drawing room, well, lavatory still anyway, has clearly been far too much for some previously mild-mannered and honourable contenders. Nevertheless, the Academy's board assures me it has resisted all offers of fortune and favour, if only because most of the brown envelopes they received weren't stuffed full enough with used readies, or they regarded a night out with Roger Martin as more penance than incentive. Without any further ado, let's get on to the first category this evening, which celebrates some of the follicular extravagances indulged over the years. Yes, it can only be the award sponsored by Laboratoire Garnier for Most Improved Hairdo in a Supporting Role. And the nominations in this most fiercely fought category are: everybody knows her, everybody loves her, Personnel Manager Extraordinaire, Jenny Myatt. Joining the then Orion in 1966 as one in the typing pool, she progressed to be Managing Director's Secretary, or is it sitting on Managing Director's lap? No, Managing Director's Secretary before moving into personnel in 1980. Seen here, around 1969, Jenny demonstrates to colleagues the latest in portable dictaphone technology. She is the business longest serving employee. Next nomination was ex-professional chip shop assistant and dishwasher, Dave Kenny. Taken shortly after leaving school to join in 1973 and one of the founding fathers of healthcare, Dave sports a head of hair fashioned on the then popular glam rock combo Mud. Next nomination was Jackie King. Another joiner from school to the typing pool. Pictured here in Barry Allsworth's garden, she models a Kevin Keegan-style perm, looking suspiciously similar to the flowering begonia planted just behind her head. And the final nomination in this category of mop tops goes to the manager of corporate new business underwriting, Mr. Nick Roberts. Nick is nominated as much out of thanks for ceasing to wear the dodgy psychedelic cardigan as for him realizing that a man of his stature and reputation should now command a more regal hairstyle, and certainly one less befitting, an extra from the 70s hit TV series The Brady Bunch. To announce the winner of the coveted Ollie, I would like to invite onto stage a small group business team leader who herself is renowned for having done for the hair colouring industry what Ginger Spice has done for platform shoes. It's Guardian Health's own Scarlet O'Hara, Miss Naomi Snell.
I'm sorry, it's a bit boring tonight. It's a bit brown. I would like to announce the winner in the category of Most Improved Hairdo in a Supporting Role is... This is where the bit where I go. The winner is Jackie King.
On the sympathy crutches, discount orgies on the dropout buses, hitching a ride with the bleeding noses, coming to town with the briefcase blues.
Over the years, Guardian Health staff numbers have swelled considerably. Since 1990, it's literally had hundreds of joiners march enthusiastically in through its doors. But, sadly, like any business, it's also had its fair share of leavers skip. Some may say cynically just as enthusiastically out of its doors. Some people, though, think that they can live without Guardian Health. But in that heady reality of life outside Bouverie House, they realise in time they belong back in the fold, and that the grass grown at Guardian Health is the greenest after all. We now recognise these tormented souls through the Boomerang Award for not being able to say goodbye. Kindly sponsored by Alfred Marks Recruitment Services. The nominations in this category are former Secretary to Mike Williams, Margaret Ferguson. Margaret was released on parole in 1992 only to reoffend and be sentenced again in 1997 to the equivalent of life as a senior administrator in business systems and services, reporting to the governor of second floor B block, Mrs. Lynn Pilcher. Will Wright. Earlier this year, Will unsuccessfully attempted to break into the lucrative Czechoslovakian market for human body doubles of Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men, and the Wooden Tops, only to realise 2 months later that he preferred the wooden tops he had previously worked with closer to home. The next in this category, seen here in native West Country local costume, integration guru and former director of IT, Ray Aslett. He left Folkestone in 1994 after 7 years for a position within the group, before returning to his real roots last year. The next nomination is Martin Usher. Martin is again one of the old school, having been an Orion man from 97 until briefly absconding in 93 for 2 years. Pictured here in the mid-70s, the only thing which has changed with Martin over the intervening years is the size of his tie. The final nominee is a young man who can only be described as a legend in this category. He has elevated the process of resignation and rejoining to an art form, and is consequently now Guardian Health's longest-serving temp, Mr. Andy Young. And Andy has managed to leave the company a total of 4 times to pursue such diverse career interests as professional modelling, amateur backpacking, public house chef, and as we see here, Bolivian street busking, which is when he started his experimentation with facial hair. To announce the winner is a lady who herself has done her fair share of disappearing and reappearing lately, albeit to have babies. Our very own Carol Vuderman, statistical whiz kid Sue Evans.
Of the Boomerang Award for not being able to say goodbye is... Could there be anybody else? Andy Young! To show our appreciation to those colleagues who selflessly and without any regard for their personal safety or reputation insist on being the source of unsocial, unofficial entertainment at corporate soirees and social gatherings. The nominees in this category have all more than earned their places in the pantheon of Guardian Health history through their intrepid exploits, and tonight we honour them in the only way truly appropriate, by heaping on the embarrassment still further. Sponsored by Armitage Shanks, we present the My Colleagues Will Never Remember Me on Remember It Was Me on Monday award for provision of entertainment at a company party. The nominees are for a dazzling display of dirty dancing at the 1994 Christmas party held at Jams in Hythe, Patrick Swayze, or should that be Patrick Moore lookalike, business manager Mr. Jason Morris. Why were the lavatories mysteriously engaged for so long at the 1995 Christmas party at the Metropole? Only two people know the answer, and one of them is the sponsor's odds-on favourite to take the title. Business managers have obviously got the required rhythm. It's Ray Ockenden.
Some people can always be counted on to bring a certain sparkle to any gathering, with their wild displays of apparently random limb movements and convulsive expressions. Let's hope they don't let us down later this evening. It's our first joint nominee of the night. It's Kerry Dwyer and Steve Becky. Brought in November '96 with a job brief to bring marketing closer to the business development team and enhance the working relationship of the two functions, corporate marketing manager, Mr. Aidan Taylor. He takes only 4 weeks. He takes only 4 weeks to prove his exceptional ability in this crucial role by selflessly continuing his efforts when most others are off duty. And could this category be complete without Roger Martin, who is nominated for simply bringing mirth and merriment to everyone he meets, and in particular, the attendees of the '96 Ashford International Christmas Party. What is Roger doing to that slot machine? And why is there a queue forming? Another hotly contested category. To announce the winner is the guaranteed heart and soul of any do, especially once Grease Lightning is on the turntable, one of the godmothers of Guardian Health, an ex-Mark Lefebvre and Mike Williams secretary, and my previous dancing partner, but now released for good behaviour and working for Dr. Robert Hangartner, it's Pauline Milton.
Well, if I had my way, I'd give everybody an Ollie. Well, I'd like to kiss them all, you see. Anyway, the winner of the quotes that my colleagues will never remember it was me on Monday award for provision of entertainment at a company party is Aidan Taylor.
When you want to go to west, relax, don't you west. When you want to come, relax, don't you west. When you want to suck it to west, relax, don't you west. When you want to come, when you want to come, relax, don't you west. When you want to go to west, relax, don't you west. When you want to come, relax, don't you west.
It is said that somewhere in the world, every one of us has a double. Someone who could almost be our twin, were it not for the fact that we were unrelated. Well, tonight, the Academy reunites some of us with our long-lost twins. We identify those of you who, until now, had no idea that you suffered the loss of being separated at birth. Nominations in this category are Business Systems Analyst Steve Smith and Scooby-Doo star Shaggy. You even both drive Volkswagens. It's uncanny. Guardian Health's first Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Robert Hangartner, and 19th century poet, author and general caddish wit, Oscar Wilde. Well, Oscar may not look like that quite now. Some of you may have seen it before, but it's worth another laugh. Our very own manager of corporate renewals, John Green, And like John, he likes his creature comforts. It's Angus the Panda. Do you ever get the feeling that you're hearing voices? Small group business sales consultant Richard Wallace and the Yorkshire Ripper Peter Sutcliffe. Don't go out on them there moors. And finally, where's he got his fag packet stashed? It's ex-director of finance Paul Truman and that cheeky Mr. Bean chappie. To pronounce the Academy's verdict and present the Separated at Birth Award, it's Policy Administration Coordinator Heather Howe, who herself seems to have been separated at birth from a piece of garden furniture.
Good evening. And the winner is the Separated at Birth Award by Dr. Bernardo. Oh, God. Is John Green.
There is nothing we can do, knowing me, knowing you. We just have to face it this time. We lose. Breaking up is never easy. I know what I had to do. Knowing me, knowing you, it's the best I can.
Our next category is the Oh Bloody Hell, I Wish I Hadn't Said That Now award, sponsored by Gerald Ratner. It recognises those masters of verbal effluence who have soon lived to regret their unconsidered outbursts, maverick communications, or just plain daft statements. Progressing expeditiously, the nominations avec les pieds dans les bouches sont one of our honoured guests here this evening, former helpline manager and ex-army intelligence, if that's not a contradiction in terms, officer, Giles Thomsett. Giles was well known for a number of gaffes and blunders over the years, although I'm not sure that Suez was completely his fault. Giles excelled himself one morning when heard to exclaim during a telephone conversation to an office furniture supplier, "Look, I need these chairs urgently. I've got 5 women pregnant here." No wonder poor Giles always looked so tired. Former helpliner and now helpline trainer Debbie Garrett. Her ground opening moment came while speaking to a policyholder named Mrs. Raisin. Yes, you guessed it. She asked this customer, Mrs. Raisin, to send in a new claim form as the one we had was no longer current. Angeline Horton. Corporate Renewals Administrator Angeline wished that she could turn back time, as Cher once said, after experiencing some increasingly annoying network problems with her computer. She was heard to bellow at the top of her voice, "Oh, please don't go down on me again!" I'm only a doctor and I didn't understand that one. I don't know who wrote this, actually. A fine example of something written for general consumption which the author has later come to regret, given the present integration process was penned by the hand of marketing coordinator Stephen Ryan. For that rarest of literary masterpieces, the Guardian Health Staff magazine, The Hooter. Stephen's faux pas came in his choice of subject for the first entry in his Talking Bollocks column. In his regular column, Stephen sought to expose examples of verbal diarrhea found throughout the healthcare market. Unfortunately, which competitor's explanation for their recent rebranding did he choose to have a go at first? Yep, our friends in Tunbridge Wells. Steve, your P45 awaits you. And last, but no means least, we have a true classic uttered from the lips of part-time helpliner Miss Rachel Stevens. Having had a rather complex situation explained to her by her colleague and fellow helpliner, Tara Wright, who concluded, as one often does in these situations, "There you go, clear as mud," Rachel's somewhat bewildering reply was, "It may be as clear as mud to you, but I still don't get it." To bestow a well-deserved Ollie for this category is a renewal underwriter who joined Orion in the heady days of '81 as a YTS trainee and has a well-deserved reputation for not being backward when it comes to verbosity. Welcome onto stage, Cassie Potter.
That was last year, wasn't it? Right. Hello. I'm pleased to announce the winner of the I should be climbing mountains. The winner of the oh bloody hell, I wish I hadn't said that award is. Who do you want? You've got it, Steve. He speaks the truth, Ryan!
Don't blame me, justice is fair. You listen to their side, now listen to mine. Come think of a story, sure you'll find me some time. Now pass the blame and don't blame me. Just close your eyes and count to 3. Then I'll be gone and you'll forget.
Our next award is for that very select band of employees who have not only managed to engineer for themselves roles, including regular foreign travel to ensure that their tans remain topped up, but also display such talent and deft skills when it comes to discovering new legitimate uses for the corporate credit card that could compete with presenters of the holiday programme. Introducing the Judith Chalmers Award for Cushiest Role on a Corporate Expense Account, sponsored by MasterCard. And the nominations are, he's already been nominated once this evening. Could this be his lucky category? It's Dave Kenny again. Anybody who can decide to underwrite a scheme which just happens to involve audits being required to be undertaken twice a year in sunny Malta must be a true master of his art. Here we see Dave making his way in the high 80s heat to the offices of our Maltese partners for another day of heavy auditing. The Academy just couldn't ignore the nomination in this category of ex-head of customer services and now international jet-setter extraordinaire, Mark Lefebvre. As we have heard, Mark joined the management team in '89, but was seconded by Group to Hong Kong in 1997 to bolster his air miles collection. Pictured here on a recent fact-finding mission to a Malaysian beach resort, we see him grappling with a hardship which faces every globe-trotting executive. Just how do you get fresh oysters out of their shells with only one hand? The third nominee is roving business manager Trevor Pyman. Here we see an exceedingly well-lunched Trevor captured on a very rare recent appearance at Bouverie House when he dropped in to collect his latest set of tickets for the hospitality suite at a major sporting event. To say that Mr. Pyman has single-handedly been responsible for the demolition of Guardian Health's corporate hospitality budget would underestimate this man's achievements. He has been to more free sporting fixtures than Jimmy Hill and drunk more gratuitous champagne than Nigel Mansell. And finally, Nathan Rogers. Not only did Nathan's unquestionable talents as a claims trainer take him to Malta for the best part of a week in 1996, he also got himself to India for a fortnight in 1997. What nobody can quite work out is how he managed to have a stopover in Rio de Janeiro to participate in the street carnival as this picture shows. To announce the winner, a man who has business manager with us since 1987, is no stranger to expense returns, here seen joining in at a Ukrainian line dancing corporate hospitality event, I have greatest pleasure in welcoming Bob Catchpole.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Judith Chalmers Award for cushiest role in our corporate expense account goes to... The winner is Trevor Pyman!
Best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I want money. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Certainly a very well-deserved award. Unfortunately, in true Oscars style, Trevor cannot be with us this evening as he is currently in Marseille, checking out the hospitality facilities for England's first World Cup match the week after next. I told you he was a true professional. Unfortunately, our budget this evening could not stretch to a satellite link-up, so to accept the award on his behalf, I would like to invite a long-suffering member of Trevor's team, the person who has to administer some of the reams of receipts and expense forms this man generates, Miss Rachel Hedges.
Give them to the birds and bees. I want money. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Given the huge successes that Guardian Health has experienced over the years, I was personally very surprised to learn that some of you out there actually consider yourselves to have a life outside of Bouverie House. And I was even more surprised to learn that some of you even consider your life to have some interest outside work. Well, the next award recognizes those hard-working individuals who manage to pursue excellence at work, as well as in their given hobby. Sponsored by Amateur Egg Picklers Bi-Monthly, I am very proud to bring you the I Have Got an Interesting Life Outside Work Award. The Academy's nominations in this category are Barry Allsworth, if you chop Barry in half, like many have reportedly tried to do in the past, he would have Orion and Guardian Health written through him like a stick of rock. He originally joined Orion from school before leaving in 1969, only to rejoin in '82, And by that time, the Dutch were owners of Orion, and so here we see Barry doing a very credible impression of Van der Valk, almost 15 years before it was trendy to sport a goatee. But did you know that in his spare time, Barry can often be seen dressed in an anorak, hanging around birds? I should stress that these are solely of the ornithological variety. The next nomination is a business systems coordinator of immense repute and part-time Bart Simpson lookalike, Simon Collins, who spends his weekends on deserted platforms with a lunchbox and pencil in his hand. Capable of being visibly flustered at the thought of a brief encounter with a Type 35 diesel with double bogies, Simon's dream is for the integrated health business to be relocated, lock, stock and barrel, to railway enthusiasts, Mecca, Crewe. Mild-mannered telecommunications expert Les Adams is our next nomination, who spends what's left of his leisure time representing the interests of us wee folk in the heady chambers of Shepway District Council. Rumours were reported in the national press that Councillor Les is soon to announce his candidacy for Mayor of London are reliably informed, entirely fictional. Shame. But our final nominee in this category is pictured here preaching the virtues of traditionally brewed bitters, which is just one subject in the uncannily wide repertoire belonging to part-time lay preacher and esteemed staff forum representative Robert J. Marsh. Incidentally, Robert is well qualified to extol the virtues of a lagerless existence, as before joining healthcare, his CV did carry details of his very interesting former occupation, which was display assistant, bracket, beers, wine and spirits, close bracket. To announce the winner in her usual serene manner and present the award is a helpline deputy team leader who is nearly one of the health originals. Having joined us from school in 1988, the indomitable Miss Tara Wright.
That's really mean. And the winner is for the I Have Got an Interesting Life Outside Work award. Les Adams.
James has mentioned on numerous occasions in the past, business life is all about changes, and we must be able to adapt to and grasp new opportunities that are presented to us. The following individuals are not only fine examples of the diverse background of talent which exists within Guardian Health, but are also beacons of how adaptable people can be. This award therefore honours those amongst you with previous occupations which you'd probably rather forget. The next category is, now that's what I call a change in career direction award. The first nomination, with a former occupation regarded by many to be on a par with that of professional mass murderer, unassuming new business underwriter Nick Swainson. He likes to keep quiet the fact that he was an estate agent for the 9 years before joining us, under his hat. Oops, that's the cat out of the bag now. Never mind. For the next nomination, we should all fall in about turn, get those stomachs in and chests out, because if we don't, she'll have us doing press-ups until next Tuesday. It's ex-Army physical training instructor, Lance Corporal Carla Taylor. Now responsible for a slightly smaller brigade of trainee helpliners, it's reported that with Carla, old habits die hard, and she still has them ground bashing round the filing room for an hour before sunup. Operations analyst Rob Eade worked in a timber yard for 6 years before joining Guardian Health in '94 and ending up in business systems and services. I'm not sure why Rob's in this category, as he went from working with a load of old wood to, well, working with a load of old wood. And our final nominee in this category is a man formerly used to making bacon, not saving it, which is what he does a lot of now. It can only be Frank Bosbrook. Former pig farmer turned IT programmer, Frank expertly managed to pull the rind over somebody's eyes when he convinced them that someone with an intimate knowledge of a saddleback's digestive system would be essential in a financial institution about to face the challenges of the new millennium. To bestow an Ollie on the Academy's favourite son or daughter, I would like to present a lady who, with over 23 years' service, which must be wrong because she only looks 29, it's Fast Team Leader Jill Curtis.
Hello, everyone. The winner is, that's what I call a change in career direction, is Frank the Pig Bosbrook. Come on, Frank.
Have you seen the little piggies crawling in the dirt? And for all the little piggies, life is getting worse. Always having dirt to play around with. Have you seen the bigger piggies in the starch white shed?
We're coming towards the end of the awards now, but nowadays, in the insurance industry, the name Guardian Health is synonymous with helpfulness, caring, and that cheerful can-do attitude and great medical knowledge, which together are the ingredients required to achieve excellence in customer service. Our penultimate award, therefore, recognises those professionals feverishly working behind the scenes who are never seen, thank the Lord, and yet are the foundations upon which the helpful public face of Guardian Health is built. It's the I'm just happy to be here at your service award, sponsored by National Smile Week. And the nominations are recent celebrate of 20 years service, it's Heather Howe. Caught here in one of her particularly buoyant moods, Heather manages to do a passable impression of Dame Edna Everidge's sidekick, Miss Madge Alsop, and is obviously relishing every challenging minute of her stimulating day. A duo that embody the customer-focused ethos of Guardian Health, the maintenance men known only as Jim and Dick. Few know their surnames, and even fewer know which is which. They have the rare ability to strike fear into any foolish soul who dare request a desk be moved or a picture hung. Moving around the building in a pair, they can reduce once confident senior managers to gibbering wrecks with one quick brandishment of their retractable tape measure. If reincarnation is a reality, they will surely return as doctors' receptionists. Marketing print assistant Sarah Fairley captured during a rare moment of serene contemplation. Ever cheerfully helpful Sarah considers for a moment the most customer-focused place to stick the intruding photographer's camera. And finally, the true stoker of the engine boiler. It's John Huntington, the tea machine man. A truly silver-tongued diplomat who is to customer delight what a kebab is to a vegan. John always skillfully manages to succinctly impart any intention he has of letting you just snip in for a quick cup of tea before he puts the machine out of order for an hour. Through the use of just 2 words. Bugger off! To announce the victor of the coveted Ollie, a claims team leader who you have entrusted to be your voice as representative on the staff forum, seen here during one such forum meeting, it's Bev Spicer.
Hello. The I'm just happy to be here at your service award goes to who else but Jim and Dick.
Once again, I'm afraid Jim and Dick are sadly not able to be with us here this evening. So to accept the award on their behalf is a man who, as Claims and Policy Administration Manager, regularly runs the gauntlet of asking the dynamic duo to slightly shift something for him, and as a consequence has already sold his soul a number of times. It's Mike Kemp. We now come to the part of the evening that you've all been waiting for. No, not the end, but the Academy's Special Award for Lifetime Achievement. To assist me in presenting this very special award, could you please give a very warm welcome to a lady who, if Aretha Franklin is the godmother of soul music, is without a doubt regarded as the godmother of Guardian Health, Vera Chalice. This is an award that the Academy does not bestow often. In fact, never before in its history. It's an award that can only be earned through a selfless devotion for what probably felt like a lifetime to achieving the goal of making Guardian Health what it has become today. A company with a bright future. A company that along the way has shown the competition how to do it and will continue to do so. All of this could only have been achieved under the unswerving leadership of one man. Hold on.
What he used to say to me. August 1944. He was brought up in Laleham, Middlesex. We have it on very good authority that he did go to school, during which time, amongst other things I understand, he endured the nickname of Eccles after the Goon Show character. He secured his first employment as a clerk for aircraft manufacturers Vickers Armstrong, who were based at the old Brooklands racing circuit at Weybridge in Surrey. Was it here, I wonder, that he developed his love of flying and motorbikes, or even flying motorbikes? His career in insurance began in 1970 when he joined brokers C.T. Bowring and rose to become company secretary of the holding company Bowring UK Limited. In 1982, he moved to Nuffield Hospitals and in his capacity as company secretary and assistant general manager had responsibility for the group's marketing and new business activities. It was during this time he became a director of the Independent Healthcare Association and was also a regular speaker at healthcare conferences and generally became a well-known figure in the private healthcare industry. As we know, he joined Orion in 1989 at the same time as another motley bunch, and the rest, as they say, is history. James, before I ask you to come up and accept the Academy's Special Lifetime Achievement Award, can I just say on behalf of all your friends and colleagues at Guardian Health, we found it a pleasure to work with you. We're very sorry to see you moving, but you know our good wishes go with you. Ladies and gentlemen, James Epstein.
You're simply the best.
Thank you. We haven't quite finished with you yet, James. There's no way that we'd let you go to Tunbridge Wells with just a beat-up old plastic owl. We would like you to accept this from all your friends and colleagues. You'll find some very good messages in that, lots of good wishes. And in addition, and not only, but may I, thank you very much. Will you handle that very gently? It's the only thing here tonight that's older than me.
I need a support. It's not often that I get really lost for words, but I think this could be the evening. This is really quite unexpected. I spent most of the evening laughing so much I'm half crying. What a great evening. I'm not going to repeat the words that I said over in Folkestone 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's about looking ahead, and we should all look to the future. We all have a great future. But whatever happens, I will never, ever forget the last 9 years. And above all, as I said outside, I'll never forget you. You're great. Thank you very much.
Better than all the
Ladies and gentlemen, I have only one statement that I would like to make. I did not write any of the stuff that I had to do tonight. I'll take the credit for the good bits, but the bad bits are really down to Graham Santa, and I really feel with him and Tim Robinson, they've done a tremendous job in getting this together. That was the first and last Guardian Health Academy Awards. I hope you enjoyed them. There will now be a few minutes break to give you time to visit the bar, visit the toilet, get your dancing shoes on, and be ready for the amazing Rubber Biscuit, who will entertain you until the early hours.